welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a full face using the oldest makeup products in my collection. Spoiler, I have some that are over 10 years old. I did see Samantha March do this video a little while ago. I will link her channel down below in my description box. But I saw it and I instantly knew it would be the perfect gross Halloween video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have my favorite Halloween shirt on with my black kitty cats. So if you like gross videos, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I do upload videos twice a week on Sundays and Thursdays. And with that, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna pull you guys in a little bit closer and we're gonna tell some stories along the way while we apply all these expired products to my face. Now that I have you zoomed in a little bit, let's just start with primer. The first primer that I have, that's the oldest in my collection, is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Base. So there was a time in my life where I really enjoyed this primer. I believe this is my second tube of it. However, this is old because I know that I bought my first tube. I was 18 or 19 and it was one of the very first products that I purchased at Sephora. And I purchased it at Sephora, I remember, because my friend, she was really into makeup. She was very good at makeup. And she loved Makeup Forever, so my logic was if I purchase the same products, maybe I'll be as good as her. So I bought this primer, and I did use it a lot. Moisturizing, hydrating primers aren't really my thing anymore. I now prefer more of a pore blurring primer, something that's gonna do a little bit extra. My skincare just has enough moisturizing steps in it that I don't need to add another moisturizing primer on top of that. But I could see how maybe someone with dry skin would really like that step. But for me, it's not very necessary. I'm gonna just let this sink in for a minute and then we will move on to foundation. These next two products I think are the ones I'm most embarrassed about just because cream products tend to get a little bit less slack than powder products. But let's just dive right in. For foundation, I have the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Compact. I have the shade Light, and this is at least 8 years old. You can see I used it quite a bit, and I used to apply it with a flat top kabuki. I don't have one anymore. This is the closest I have, so that is what we're gonna use. I remember distinctively that this is at least 8 years old because I know I purchased it right when I started dating my boyfriend, and we've been together 8 years. And I remember using this to get ready to go to work after staying at his house. So this is old, but I used to use this foundation all the time. And for some reason, I just haven't been able to get rid of it. Part of it is that I kind of just wanted to try it again, make sure that I liked it. So that way I could repurchase it if I did. I didn't want to repurchase it and then find out like it's not my makeup taste anymore. And I have to say, it actually looks really nice. It's really just lightweight on the skin, blends really easily. I do really like this so far. It's just nice and lightweight on the skin, just an easy everyday foundation. I did already do my brows if you didn't notice because I don't have any old brow products. I do actually, for one category, go through one at a time before I open a new one. So I just did my brows really quickly before we got started. I'm just gonna finish this up. But here is what the foundation's looking like. I mean, for 8 years old, I thought this was gonna be worse. It does look maybe a little bit heavy and cakey on my skin, but I think I might actually repurchase this if they still make it and it's not discontinued. I'll leave a pinned comment to let you know if they still make this, if it's not discontinued, but I'm pretty impressed with myself because I did not make good makeup choices in my younger years. Now the concealer is even older than the foundation, if you can believe that. This is the Dior Fix It 3-in-1 Prime and Conceal. It looks like this, kind of like their little lipstick case. It's a stick concealer, comes out like this. And considering I got this when I was 18, 19, like how many times did I use it? What, 3? So this is what we're gonna use today. It doesn't smell great. I think it needs to go in the trash right after this, but I'm just gonna apply it here and here. And then I'm gonna blend it out with the same foundation brush, just so after this I can wash minimal brushes, because I'm not gonna not wash this after using all this expired product. So here's the story with Dior. When I turned 18, 19, and I finally moved out of my parents' house, I was on my own. I thought I was hot shit, just like every other 18, 19-year-old. And I decided like I really needed to get serious about makeup. I've always been interested in makeup, but I never really had role models who loved makeup growing up. My mom's not someone who really likes to wear makeup, which is totally fine. And I have a lot of male siblings. So I didn't really have someone who I looked up to who I could learn from. And 18, 19, it was like, this was the year I was gonna be good at makeup. And so in my mind, I'm just gonna spot conceal a little, which is probably not the smartest choice considering this product's not good, but we're gonna wash it off after, so it's all right. So in my mind, the only way to do that was to get the best of the best. And that meant going to the Macy's counter and buying a full face of Dior makeup. I remember distinctively doing this. I did it with my friend who liked the makeup forever, and I got a full face. And then once that happened, I didn't want to use it because I had spent so much money. I didn't want it to go to waste. And now it's just expired, so it went to waste anyways. And you're gonna be seeing some other Dior products from that. These are just the choices we make when we're younger. Can't explain how my brain worked that the products were gonna give me the skills, not just practicing. But that's all right, we move on and we learn. So here's the concealer, definitely not good. I don't think I'll be repurchasing it, even if they still make it. I'm pretty sure they don't, but it didn't really cover anything. And I think at the time it was probably just overhyped. So this is going in the trash. Before we powder, I'm gonna use cream bronzer. So this is what I have. And this is old too, maybe 6 years old, but this is the Naked Skin Shapeshifter, and it comes with powder, contour, highlight, and a brightening shade, and then it comes with a cream side, again, contour, brightening, corrector, and highlight. I bought this because of Manny MUA. He used to use this all the time, and I actually did like it. I'm gonna use this sponge. This sponge is like, so it's ready to go in the trash, so it's going in the trash right after this. I just didn't want to open a brand new sponge to trash it. But going back, I used to really enjoy this palette actually, just for the bronzer. I never really used the other shades in here, but even though you can't see too much use, I mean, you can see a dip in this cream contour. But I did use this quite a bit. Just for some reason, I got new products and then just moved on to the next. But there was a while here where I would use this exclusively for quite some time. I think the concept's really cool. I wonder if they still make this. I have to look at that too, because I'm sure I could just title this video Full Face of Discontinued Products since they're so old. It kind of goes hand in hand. But I would maybe reconsider purchasing this. The only thing that holds me back is I know I wouldn't use all the shades. So probably not. If I wanted like a good contour travel palette, I would say this is really good if you don't have a lot of makeup. I just have enough where I could bring individual products, but it's a great all-in-one palette. And the products worked really good. I mean, it's still working really nice, even though it does not smell good, so it definitely needs to go. This, again, just like the foundation, was kind of a product. Wanted to try one more time and see if it was worth repurchasing or not. But here is the cream bronzer. We're gonna go back and put powder right after I powder my face. Powder I'm gonna be using today is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. This was, I'm pretty positive, the first setting powder I ever used. I'm not sure, but including it's this container, I did not repurchase it. I'm pretty light-handed when it comes to powder specifically. I mean, you can see like how much is still in here for being, I started purchasing products when I was 18. So, I mean, for being over 10 years old, I'm 32 now, like that's quite a bit of product that's left in there. But it's hard when they're powder products. Like, I don't want to get rid of it because I spent money on it. And back then, like, money meant so much more to me than it does now. So I think that's like the extra sting. I am better about decluttering products today, and I can declutter newer products if I don't like them. But back when I was working a minimum wage job, making $7 an hour, like that was a lot of money for me. And I think that's part of why I just have trouble really letting go of these older products. But here is the powder. I know that they do still make this powder, so this is one I could easily repurchase. And if they had a mini, like that would be even better because I have so many powders. I just prefer minis specifically in powders because I have some mini powders that I've had for a year or so and I use them pretty regularly and still haven't finished them. So maybe I'll check that out, see if Too Faced has a mini of this and replace that one finally. I'm just gonna go back in with this palette to contour, set that cream bronzer a little bit. Here's kind of just what we're looking like. My makeup, I mean, for being expired, it's not looking the worst I've ever seen it, but it is definitely looking just like a little powdery and heavy, which is kind of odd considering I don't think I've put on a lot of product, but that's probably why it's expired. I mean, it doesn't look bad like on camera, but up close, like you can just see just how kind of cakey and heavy it looks. But here is bronzer. Let's move on to blush. So when I was going through blush, the clear winner of the oldest that I had in my collection is this. This is the Jouer blush duo in the shade Adore. So it looks like this, and I had to chuckle a little bit because these shades are just so subdued compared to what the trend is now. Blush is really the highlight that highlight used to be, and people are going so heavy and so bright with blush. It looks great on them. I am not fully on board with it. I think I go a little bit heavier with blush than I used to, but like even now this, I used to love this blush duo. I think it's still really pretty on the skin. Even now, for not being a full-on blush fiend, this is a little bit light for me. I'm gonna keep it. I don't think it's old enough where I need to toss it. It seems like it's still performing fine compared to some of these other products. There was a time though, I loved this blush. I still do. I think it looks really pretty. I was just complaining about my makeup, and I think that the blush just really brought it 3 steps forward because now I'm just liking my makeup so much more. It's crazy how one product can just completely change the entire look. Let's move on to highlight now. This one's a product I don't think I'll ever get rid of until the day I die. I love it so much. It's kind of hard to see because it's so metallic, but it's this beautiful Dior highlight, and it has this like lace front on it. So here's kind of what it looks like. And then the inside had like this really subtle and fragile lace design on it as well. I have used this, so it's kind of faded a little bit, but it's like so heavy. It's pure metal. It's like a paperweight. And this was like a limited edition highlight, and it was before highlight was really even a thing. Like I think I purchased this before Champagne Pop came out. So that's how old this is. I bought this with the concealer, but I'm gonna go in with my old school fan brush, and we're gonna apply this just to the top here. It's definitely gonna be more subtle, but this is just something, yeah, I think it's gonna go in like a drawer of just expired makeup. That's kind of just a collector thing for me. I don't do that too often. There's just something special about this palette. I considered all the Dior stuff to be luxury makeup and makeup that I spent my hard-earned money on, but this was like extra special when I bought it. And that's why I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I love the lace design. I just felt so glamorous when I bought this. I thought I was the coolest. My makeup collection was just so much better than everyone else's because I owned this highlight. And it's pretty. I mean, it's definitely very subtle, almost nothing. I don't even think I told you what this was called. So this is the Dior Illuminating Lace Effect Powder for Face in 001 Pink Lace. I don't know if they came out with like different lace ones. I'm gonna just keep applying more because it'll probably go back in the graveyard after this and not be used. But man, I love this so much. I think it's so pretty and it's so feminine. Ugh. It is just, it's one of my most prized makeup possessions, quite honestly. We have eyes and we have lips left. So for eyes, because I'm dreading lips, eyes goes to Dior. Again, this is a Quint in the shade 508 Nude Pink Design. I did not purchase this with my Dior haul, but this is the one Quint I cannot get rid of. I still have like the plastic over it. Take that all off. And you can even see, I used this palette. I love this palette. I've had some older Dior Quints that I have decluttered over the past year or so, but this one specifically I have a hard time getting rid of. This is, again, a product I think I just need to repurchase if they still have this color story. Highly doubt it. You can see how much older it is because it's so much thicker. I brought out like a new one just to compare like the new packaging compared to the old. It doesn't have like the silver around it. It's so much sleeker. Let's just apply this, shall we? I'm gonna just follow the little instructions here on this plastic thing. So here we have kind of like a base. This is a all over crease. And then we have this to darken up the outer corner, this to apply like some center shine, and then this as liner. So let's get started. I'm gonna just use my finger for the base here. Now, as I mentioned, I did not purchase this with my Dior haul. I actually purchased this, I remember distinctively, which is part of why I can't get rid of it, if you've noticed a common theme. But I purchased this, I took my sister for her 10th birthday to Disneyland, and this was kind of like my souvenir. We walked into this Sephora shop there and I bought this. But my sister is going to be 21 in 2 weeks. So that kind of tells you how old this is since I took her there for her 10th birthday. I saved up. It was a really big trip for me. I was so excited. I'm 12 years older than my sister, so I was really excited to like be able to afford to take her on this trip. I saved up 6 months. We had so much fun. It was a really big deal for me. I don't know why. I just wanted to be able to do something fun with her. And we had a blast. So this was my little souvenir, and it always reminds me of that trip. So that's why I haven't been able to let it go yet like I have the other Quints. And I'm just worried that they don't make this color story because the color story is also everything. I find Dior Quints compared from 10 years ago to now, their color stories were just so much more put together a little bit and so effortless. I think that's why I just gravitated towards Dior. I felt like their makeup was feminine while being very effortless. Like you didn't need a lot of skill to look put together. And now it kind of feels like they're just trying to apply to a younger demographic. I mean, younger demographics, that's going to be who's purchasing their makeup. So I understand like the marketing behind it. I think their makeup back in the day was more my speed, more my style. And while I still love Dior makeup, I still have quite a few products for them. It's something about that time that I just like so much better. Shadow shade, kind of just deepen up this corner a little bit. I don't want this to be too heavy. I really don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm gonna wash this off right after. So if I was gonna be wearing this for the rest of the day, then maybe I'd spend more time on it, but I will not be. So we'll just kind of throw something together here. It's definitely not performing the best. Like you can see just how patchy it is. I'm trying to like go in, blend this out, make it look a little bit better, but I think we're just gonna have to accept that it's patchy and accept that it's time for it to go. So let's just do liner real quick and then the glitter. We'll be done with this. I'm gonna just use my finger to apply the little shine. The shine color is really pretty. It's kind of like a very light pink. So it has just a tiny hint of color, but being almost pure glitter, but it's not a glitter and it's not a shimmer. Here is what the glitter looks like. Let's do liner and we'll move on to lips. Okay, so I added the shine color and liner. I've convinced myself while using this, it's time to let this palette go. I think right after this, I'll just see if they make this color again and just purchase it real fast. But before I change my mind, I'm gonna declutter this. It's not as special as that highlight. I feel okay getting rid of this. I just hope that they still have the new design. But let's move on to lips. I'm just gonna put my glasses on so I can see better. And we're for sure gonna have to use a lip liner because this lipstick is a MAC lipstick. I don't know when this came out, but this is the collaboration with Larlarlee. And back when it came out, like this tone was very popular, this like very pinky nude color. And it's totally what she was wearing all the time. But I can just tell this is gonna be, one, very drying. I applied lip gloss before this because I knew that I'd need any hydration that I could get. And two, it's gonna be just really light for me. So I'm gonna just try and make it work a little bit more and use a lip liner. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude and just line up my lips just a little bit. Again, I'm not gonna go crazy because we're gonna take this off. Lip liner's on. Let's now try this out. Ooh, oh no, it doesn't smell great. Try not to eat it. Just do this very lightly. Yeah, this brings me back to 2018, that's for sure. I'm glad I put the lip liner because even with the lip liner, it's a little bit lighter. I prefer more of like a really dusty mauve. This is like borderline concealer lips for me. I'm not a fan. I don't know if I'm gonna get rid of it. It might go with my lace highlight with Dior because this is kind of like a collector's piece. I don't know, I'm not sure because I'm never gonna wear this. Let me go put my hair down, add some mascara, and we'll take a look at the final look. All right, final look. I'm feeling like I'm looking a little young. I don't know, the lips just like, you know, I felt like we went 3 steps forward with the blush and then the lipstick just took it 20 steps back. Like I feel like I belong in 2018, that's for sure. The eyeshadow's not looking blended, it's not looking great. The base is looking all right. I would at least wear this out in public. I wouldn't feel confident wearing it out in public, but I feel good enough to wear this out in public. Yeah. All right. Well, I have a lot of life choices to go over and dwell upon. I'm going to scrub all my makeup brushes now that I used, disinfect them, declutter a little bit, maybe make some new purchases. I think for sure I want to purchase this foundation if I can find it, as well as this Quint. So I am going to leave you all and do that. Please let me know in the comments what your oldest makeup product is. I'd love to know. I kind of find these videos really interesting and just taking a trip down memory lane is always fun. But with that, I'm gonna let everyone go and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.